Yep.
And speaking of beef still, I'm just curious because I feel like there's been a little bit of tension between you and a certain YouTube golf group potentially.
Man, let me think about this in a way that I don't cancel myself. Here's the thing is that a lot of people from the get-go have tried to talk down on me, okay? You have your Busted Jack. You have your certain members of a certain YouTube group who, one guy, and I won't name his name, but he'll definitely be watching this video. He's obsessed with me. He DM'd me that he would play me for $5,000 a hole and to get a lawyer to sign it. And when this Chewbacca of a man sees this video, I'm still waiting on that contract because you will be dusted. I could play lefty no tees. I could give you 5 shots a hole. I really don't want to name names with that situation, but you know exactly what's going on, and I will be following this.
That clip, ladies and gentlemen, was from an interview I posted yesterday with Carter, the DOD King. Since then, there have been responses, there have been back and forth, and there's a lot we need to talk about. So hit that subscribe button. Welcome back to the channel. Today is your last day. I know I said that in the last video, but it was posted a day early, so I'm gonna give my normal audience who maybe didn't watch the interview one last chance. Hit that subscribe button to win a pair of the awesome Goat Lane shoes. I will for certain announce the winner in tomorrow's video. I just wanted to give the vlog a chance to also do it, not just anyway. All right, we're gonna dive right into it today. Welcome back. This was very exciting. This was an interview I wanted to do for a while. If you haven't watched it, check it out. It was good. I wanted to do it for a while because initially when Carter, DOD or whatever, popped up on the scene on the short form stuff, I, like a lot of you guys, had a lot of thoughts initially about him, but as someone who's very fascinated in this content world and whatever, I wanted to see it develop first before I just kind of gave like a brash look and take and whatever. And watching him move into YouTube, talking to Grant and Micah off camera behind the scenes about him and who he actually is and if he's actually interesting, and I got a lot of confidence that the interview would be good, and it definitely was. It was a cool story. It was one I enjoyed sharing. You know, personally, just right off the rip before I get into the drama, he definitely is, in my opinion, like a WWE character in YouTube golf. You know, he says he's not doing it overly intentionally, and I do believe him. I don't think he probably came into it intentionally with like a framework, but I think for sure he, or at least his team now, has to see that like this is his window. And I was talking to him about that yesterday. He can come in, he can play this villain role. It's a love you to hate you type of situation, create these arch enemies, these people that don't like you, and it creates hype around it. And there's nobody doing that in the YouTube golf world. You know, not everyone's gonna like it, and that's fine. And I'm not saying it's something I necessarily think everyone should be doing, but it is a path that we've seen play out in other social avenues. Think about like a Logan KSI, the fight, all that kind of stuff, which really is the catalyst for, I think, what has happened. So the backstory a little bit is obviously there was that clip posted a while ago by Steven with the T throw. It kind of got overshadowed because Micah like a week later copied it, and then that was like more like a story with Steven and Micah going back and forth. It was still relatively soon after the Good breakup, so there was a lot there, but really, I think the reason he probably posted it was a bit of a shot at DOD. At least that's what makes sense, you know, kind of the tee and throwing in the ground and hit the ball and whatever. Apparently, there have been back and forth between the two, not super niceties exchanged between them, and I would assume that there's probably a little bit of bad blood. Now, Carter shed some light on something in the interview yesterday that I found mind-blowingly fascinating, and that is that there was a challenge put down by Steven, allegedly, in the DMs for a $5,000 a hole golf match. $90,000 on the line between these two to play, I guess, what would be either a stroke play or match play situation, 18 holes for $5,000 a hole. Absolutely insane stakes. Something we have never seen before, and something that I think is just genuinely so interesting because of the fact that there's actual bad blood, I guess, between these guys. Like when our favorite YouTube creators play matches and whatever, and even if they're chirping and Wesley is chirping Micah and whatever, you know, like they're friends and there's no problem and whatever. These guys seemingly have like real problems with each other. This is very like, I don't know if this is like a super great comparison, but in my mind it works. The first like Tiger versus Phil $9 million the match, like that is, I mean, it's a very similar type of thing, but now bleeding off into our YouTube golf ecosystem. The reason why I'm excited about this personally is like, number one, I think it would be hella entertaining, like just so entertaining if something like this was to come to light, not only because of the beef these guys have, but because of the actual just raw stakes. Like watching two people who aren't, you know, well, I don't know how much money they each have. I'm going to assume they aren't multimillionaires individually. That $5,000 a whole, $90,000 total would actually probably be a financial burden on either one of them if they were to lose it. watching those two people play against each other with that much on the line, no matter who they are, is inherently interesting. The fact that they're kind of like social media, like celebrities in our YouTube golf world, makes it more interesting. The fact they have beef makes it more interesting. But it's the fact that like things like this haven't happened yet. And this could be an evolution. I'm not saying this is where everything needs to go. I don't want our space to get a bunch of manufactured beefs or anything like that. But if there are like legitimately people who don't like each other, like what better way to settle it than just like on the golf course for a high stakes match? Like it is an absolutely just time old tale storyline that I think could be super interesting and super invigorating. So anyways, all that happened in the interview clip, and then following it, there was a almost immediate response from both these guys. So Carter commented on the video I posted, the short form on my reel, basically just tagging Steven, and then Steven replied with this and basically followed up. Carter kind of challenging him, being like, hey, like, you know, like, are you actually going to do this, whatever? And then Steven clarifying that his first message was to actually be like, let's run it. Like, yes, I'm down to do it. Let's do it. So both these guys, like, making it very clear who each other is, because in the clip, Carter didn't actually name him, but in the comments he did tag him, and then Steven immediately replied. Both of them posted it on their stories, kind of one after the other. So like, there's just like, they're both paying attention here. They're both like seemingly into this. So both, let's do it. Like, this would be absolutely incredible. It would be so entertaining. I think it would be amazing. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. But to see, you know, Steven and Giga, whatever, get behind this, actually respond, actually engage in this, like, I think this needs to happen at this point, or at least something similar. I mean, again, I don't know if either of these guys have $90,000 to lose. Maybe they do. I would be okay with this happening for even lesser stakes, say like $1,000 a hole, just cut it into a fifth. Still an absolutely crazy amount of money for most people. Something like that would just be nuts. So I hope this comes to fruition. I think it would be super, super entertaining. And the fact that like, yeah, this little interview and this clip kind of sparked all this, like, starting this channel, I was reporting on things like this that would come out on other people's stuff. Now it's coming out on my stuff. Is kind of interesting and kind of fun. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. That's the story. That's the news. I'll see you in the next one.
Let me think about this in a way that I don't cancel myself, right?
Hey, say whatever you want, man.
Yeah. Here's the thing is that I came up with my team, with my brothers from the beginning, and a lot of people from the get-go have tried to talk down on me, okay? You have your busted Jack. You have your certain members of a certain YouTube group who, one guy, and I won't name his name, but he'll definitely be watching this video, he's obsessed with me. He DM'd me that he would play me for $5,000 a hole and to get a lawyer to sign it. And when this Chewbacca of a man sees this video, I'm still waiting on that contract because you will be dusted. I could play lefty no tees. I could give you 5 shots a hole. I really don't want to name names with that situation, but you know exactly what's going on, and that guy will be following this. And with regards to Busted Jack, I've spoke to him before. There's a mutual respect, but a lot of people in the world say that he is the Godfather, but that greasy, handsy, flippy swing will last 2 holes with me and the smack talk. He will not last. He's a fraud. He does have to use tees. But once again, I respect all competitors, but there are definitely some people in the world that when they finally man up and choose to play, we can do that any day of the week, twice on Sundays, for any amount of money and anything.
I love that.